Welcome to the Dirt. I'm Gray. That's Nicole. We're back. It's our fourth episode. We were together for the last one. It's been about 2 weeks, I guess.
A solid two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots has happened for us in the meantime. Thank you to everyone who's been tuning in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, listen on all podcast platforms, do the stuff on YouTube, support Softball America, all that jazz. Mindy, how are you? Where are you? Why are you in a hotel?
Isn't that the question that I always ask myself? Hey, how am I? Where am I? Why am I not at home? Why am I traveling yet again? I would say it has been a hectic, even more than my summer schedule past week. I have been all over the place, but right now I am in Kansas City, Triple Crown. Actually, no, not Triple Crown, but yes. Let's just restart. So there's this company called Parity, and they reach out to female-owned, they reach out to female athletes, and they say, hey, like, we want to connect you with businesses and brands that are looking for opportunities, and we want to help you out there. You can do it through your agent. You can do it through yourself. It doesn't matter. So they reached out, and they were like, hey, have you ever played pickleball before? And I was like once or twice. I was like, yeah, my boyfriend played tennis in college. Like, by some extension, that makes me good at not just tennis, but pickleball.
Of course.
Which is false, wrong. And they were like, all right, cool. Triple Crown is wanting to host an athlete to be in a celebrity pickleball game at PickleCon in Kansas City, Missouri this weekend. And I said, I'm in. So here I am. I came out. And it's been a blast. Today is my first full day. I woke up, I wandered around, saw all the vendors. I played some of the open rounds with pickleball. I'm going to play in the celebrity game later. I'm going to go to an instructional little clinic first. Got to work on that backhand. It's tough. But I will say this. This was a crazy, crazy emergency. So Warstick, who is amazing, they're amazing. They provide my gloves, my batting gloves, my bat, all that kind of stuff. They also have a pickleball line, and so they were gonna send out pickleball paddles. I got a really cute pink one, and then I got one that had like an ace of spades, and I was like, sick. They're gonna send out the bag. I was like, oh, I can't wait. There was a problem with the shipping, and it didn't arrive on time, so that was a bummer. But have no fear, because everyone here at PickleCon, they're so nice. And I didn't know this, but Skelkirk is one of the biggest brands. They let me borrow a pickleball paddle for the weekend. So I've been rocking and rolling. So if you don't want to get a Warstick pickleball paddle, get one of these. And it's great. So, yeah.
I was kind of hoping you were about to whip out a pickleball paddle that had been customized to say the Dirt on it. That would have been pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. I should do that. I should. Oh.
Would we work well together at pickleball? I think so.
Yes, because then I could just stay close up. I wouldn't have to worry about anything in the back. And then
I wouldn't have to worry. What do you mean? You're describing my role. That's why I'm up front.
No, because I'm not good at running back. I just need to be still. But
we might have gotten our answer. Maybe we wouldn't work well together. Sounds like we want to do the same job.
But yesterday there was this little mixer. It was day one, and I'm like standing in line to get some food, and all of a sudden I hear Nicole Mendes, and I'm like, who is that? Spotting me here in Kansas City, Missouri at this pickleball, like, it's not chicken and pickle, but it's like basically chicken and pickle. And I look over my shoulder, Avery Hobson. I forgot she's from Kansas City. She was there with her dad. So I ended up hanging out with her. I got some dirt. I got some tea. I got her life story. I got to hear about how her summer was going, how her teammates' summers were going. It was fun. And not to mention that she's such a blast. I really, really enjoyed hanging out with her. So that was a lot of fun.
You got some dirt, huh?
I did.
Oh, fun times.
I did. Fun times. But we hung out all night long. And this morning, she sent me a text. And look, A picture
Oh,
of us from last night.
oh,
It was
I
so
love your
fun.
shirt.
The USA, right? It's a cute little sweater. I love it. So yeah.
What is the most random interaction you've ever had at a place with someone that you know?
Besides flying out to Kansas City for a pickleball tournament and running into Avery Hobson at a random pickleball place.
Yeah,
Besides that interaction,
I'm sure there have been many. Like I can think of a couple right off the bat.
like what?
Well, when I was in Chattanooga, I told the story actually yesterday.
Oh god.
I went to this sandwich place. It's like an underground sandwich place. I Googled. I really wanted a sandwich. I was like, I just want a good sandwich.
Not
I
just a
want
regular sandwich, underground sandwich.
I want a sandwich from a local sandwich place. So I Googled Chattanooga sandwiches and I found this place. You have to go through this tunnel and down these stairs. It's under like an art shop. And when I went there a couple times. When I first went there, I went into the art shop because that's where the navigation was telling me to go. And I walk up and I look, and it's all these like little girls and like their dads, and they're just like wandering around. They're like kids paintings everywhere and stuff. And the woman looks at me and goes, "Sandwich shop, go out the back down the stairs."
He's like, you don't fit here.
She immediately identified I was not there for the art. And so the second time I went to this place, I'm finishing up my meal and I get a tap on the shoulder. And I turn around and it's this woman named Rachel who I think still works at my church in Birmingham, who I probably haven't
Oh,
seen in 15 years.
no way.
It'd been forever. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And
Rage, girl.
they were there, I think, shopping for books for the prison ministry. I'm not sure why they went to Chattanooga for that, but it led to this funky run-in at a sandwich place. She was having dinner with the other women who were helping her out with that, and yeah, stuff like that. So, what do you have?
I don't know. This happens to me literally all the time. A pretty wild one. Last year, whenever I ran the New York City Marathon, I was literally like on the home stretch and I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I found this little burst of energy and I sprint over and it's AJ freaking Andrews cheering on the sideline because she lives in New York. And I was like, AJ? And she was like, Nicole? And we just hugged and I'm like on mile like 23 or like 22. I'm like pretty close to the end and I see her, I'm like, oh my God, it was crazy. But yeah, I got to see her whenever I was randomly running through New York City. I don't know.
Why
Yeah,
wasn't she also participating?
That's what I said. She's like, I could never do that. I was like, out of anybody, you definitely would be the one that could do it. What do you mean you couldn't do that? Yeah, but
I'll throw one more in. This happened at Supers.
oh gosh.
So my best friend, Cooper Barnes, I've told you about him. I think I've told you the story. He works for the PGA Tour and does stuff with Corn Ferry Tour and all that jazz. And this is like 2 days before we were going up to Knoxville. And I'm looking through Snapchat and he's posted a story and it's of downtown Knoxville. And I text him, I go, are you in Knoxville? He goes, yeah, I'm here until Thursday night. I said, Cooper, we get in Thursday afternoon. Let's hang out. And I never get to see him because he lives in Florida and he went to Texas and I went to Alabama. Like, and I went off for high school.
Lovers, if you will.
Sure. So we only get like maybe 2 or 3 times a year we get to hang out. And that was a fun little coincidental. Like, I was very grateful to the committee for sending Alabama to Knoxville in that moment because I was able to see him. And then, later on.
And then it worked out and you were like, thank goodness Alabama went to Knoxville.
I was like, this is the best trip to Knoxville I have ever and will ever have.
Oh, man. Knoxbox? The karaoke bar? Oh, insane.
Are people ready for that? I don't know. I don't know if the dirt can handle the Knoxbox. I almost couldn't.
Yeah, there was some variety of characters singing in that bar.
I mean, shout out to Tree. Just what a legend.
Shout out to Tao. My gosh. I didn't know she could sing that good.
Kaylee Tao's got pipes, y'all.
Speaking of athletes who have pipes, So like I mentioned, I'm working with Triple Crown. They are the ones running PickleCon. Parody put us in contact, and I'm contracted under them. And so I'm enjoying it. I'm chatting it up. We start talking softball. We start talking Puerto Vallarta. We start talking about summer ball and how it's been going this summer for them with all their tournaments. Come to find out, and I got a bone to pick with Kirsten Deal. I got an issue. I got a problem with her because this summer I interviewed her and I was like, "What are some of your hobbies?" And she told me that she likes to sing, but just very privately, would never sing in front of anybody. And I was like, "Can I hear a little tune? Just like a little like la 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 la, like something."
A snippet, if you will.
A snippet, if you will. And I'm like, we're both number 11. We have that in common. Like, we're sisterhood, right? Like,
Basically
let me hear.
the same.
She goes and she sings the national anthem for one of the tournaments, for one of the championship games at a Triple Crown tournament this summer. So I need to text her and be like, what is this I hear? You'll sing for Triple Crown, but you won't sing for me? I got a bone to pick with her.
As you should.
As I should. Yeah, but she sang it so wonderfully and so beautifully. My next mission is to get her to sing the national anthem before a home game, drop the mic, and then just jog on out to the pitcher's mound and like start the game. Wouldn't that be sick?
That would be cool, but it would have to be a non-conference game, something low pressure.
No, I want it. No. I want it big.
That's a lot to ask.
Okay, non-conference. Let's have OU Oklahoma State. Non-conference. That's non-conference. Not anymore.
Are we sure they're going to play?
I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. I hope, wish and dream. I've heard from the mouths of people who work at OU softball that yes, they are committed to it. We'll see if Oklahoma State is committed to it. And if both of them are, I think it's a no-brainer. It makes sense. Why wouldn't it? You grow the sport, you grow your fans, you have really good softball. It's great prep for RPI. It's great prep for postseason. Why wouldn't you do it? So
I was looking at Oklahoma's conference schedule to see if there was like a low pressure.
Is it officially announced?
No, it's not. So I'm not going to read it here on the dirt. That's not my news. I've already dropped too many tidbits on different pods.
Can you cover your mouth and tell me and then like bleep it out later? Right? You can bleep stuff out.
I can bleep stuff out if I need to.
Yeah, tell me.
People are just going to be mad in the comments.
Well, I can't see it. So I want you to cover your mouth and tell me and bleep it out so everyone else can be annoyed, but I can know. Because I want to know the dirt.
Do you want to know the 4 home games, the 4 home series?
Yes, please tell me.
All right. Apologies to everybody.
That's crazy. That last one, though, makes sense. That would have been outrageous if...
There will be years where there will be years where that matchup does not happen, though.
I think that is also outrageous.
At least in conference play. That's the other thing, and we've talked about this with coaches some. There are going to be certain possible matchups
that will almost always happen.
Well, that you can find ways to happen because of geography. Mm-hmm. Like, 2021, Alabama, because non-conference schedule, and that was COVID, that was a different time, but you were trying to fill the non-conference schedule. So you had LSU come for a non-conference tournament, and I think Alabama scheduled a Wednesday night midweek with Mississippi State, which was great. It was a ton of fun to call and watch. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw maybe years where Tennessee and Kentucky aren't on the schedule. Maybe they have a midweek or something like that. Alabama and Auburn, I wouldn't be shocked if that's a regular occurrence. We'll see if the Malveaux are down. I know Murph is. Stuff like that. Texas A&M, they'll probably find a way to play.
My gosh. I want to see that game. I want to be there for that first conference matchup. Like, that is what I grew up. I grew up an Aggie, believe it or not. I grew up an Aggie, die hard. And I was so sad that I never got to watch A&M and Texas play. So I'm like salivating, drooling, chomping at the bit to see that in person because the regional was nuts.
It was nuts. It was a
Nuts. And
good harbinger of things to come.
Yes. I like, how could you not want to go to that game? Oh my gosh. What do you think is the best softball college matchup? Like rivalry, game, quality of play. That's also another word that I can't really say.
What?
The R one.
Rivalry? You struggle with the word rivalry?
I do.
Hey, what's that word that describes a song but there are no words?
I don't know.
The word you're looking for is instrumental.
Instrumental. I was thinking musical in my head, and I know that's not right. I just can't remember instrumental. It's hard, okay?
It is. To answer your question, this has, I think, a myriad of answers. If we're going,
you can only pick one.
Well, no, but I think that there are a lot of possible ways you could answer it.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
But which one are you going to answer? Are you going to go new conference? Are you going to go old conference matchups? Are you going to go just postseason matchups? Like,
are we basing, what are we basing this off of?
Off of, it's going to be high energy. The fans are going to be crazy. And that, whenever you have those games, both sides, they just play up. There's that energy, there's that buzz, there's the intensity in the air. Like, it's a good game. It's good softball. All those things.
All right, because I think I know what your answer is going to be. I'm going to not say that one.
No, I don't even know what my answer is right now.
The answer I want to say, everybody's going to be like, ugh, Alabama guy.
What are we going to say?
I want to say Alabama, Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know SEC the way that you do. So I never would have guessed that those two would have been bitter rivals.
Oh, yeah. No, it's different when those two teams meet up. But also, the other one I want to say, just because I want to be like a classic softball person, because I'm going to miss this rivalry. I hope it still happens, is UCLA, Arizona.
Yeah. Classic. That one's good.
But you want to say Bedlam.
No.
Really?
No, I wouldn't say top.
Really? All right, so what you got?
I think OU Texas is always a good one. But in the recent years, like with them going to postseason, it just hasn't hit quite the same. But I do think that one is better than Bedlam. To me, I enjoy that one more.
Interesting.
I don't know. Just from whenever I played, just the energy behind it, I guess. I think UT A&M has always been just insane. It's always been really good. I do think, and I was going to say, it's because of the schools that we're at or went to. I do think OU Alabama, like that's going to be a really fun one that's going to come out.
There have been some classics.
Yeah.
Those two teams. And people forget, but I mean, and people talk about 2012, which I get, and I had a great time. But some of the moments OU had with Shea Knighton, the walk-off in the World Series after walking off Alabama in the regular season, like months earlier in the same exact way. You had the Marissa Runyon game. You had the double dip in 2019. That was just an incredible day of softball. There have been some high-level matchups between the time.
Oh, yeah. And their fan bases are so good. So I think that's why. Call me crazy. I think this may be the clash. All right. I think this may be the clash of the purples, but I think Northwestern and Washington are going to be pretty fun. I don't know, just something about Heather Tarr, something about Northwestern. Like, I think it's going to be one of those where it's like, we don't like each other. We want to beat you. And it's just going to be good softball. I call it instinct. I don't know. But yeah.
I think we're going to get 2 good years, and I hope that the Big Ten, I'm not sure what their scheduling model is. I hope it permits for 2 good years. But I think UCLA Nebraska will be extremely compelling because I don't know how you're going to view it, but I'm going to be watching it like, oh, it's Jordy Ball versus UCLA. We've seen this before, and that's going to be permeating through my head. But on the flip side, this is also a Nebraska squad that's just going to be a lot better next year because Jordy will be back, and also they've added so many pieces out of the portal. And
Gosh,
UCLA,
good.
UCLA navigating Big Ten travel while maybe having the best pitching staff in America next year. I might be willing to go there. So
you might be willing to go there, huh? All right.
Yeah. Caitlin Terry, Taylor Tinsley, and the freshman coming in who was #1 player in the country.
Literally so legit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm willing to go out on that limb.
Hi. It's a pretty thick limb to go out on, so I'll see you there. I don't think I'll be as far out, but I'll be close by.
Well, who would you say?
I need to get a better look at all the staffs.
Okay.
I can't give an answer.
It is August 9th. Why can't you answer this question?
That would be fun. Once September 1st rolls around, we should do that. We should go and evaluate. And it's always fun to predict. I mean, you never know because so much of a good team is culture. That's not even set in place until like the end of fall. But just based on talent and supposed to be good and coaching staffs, because there's been a lot of movement there too.
Yeah. And
Like, still. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. You
ask me a question.
You mentioned good teams, and I've been watching the Olympics a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there was a lot of frustration about how the World Championships went for Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
Online, people were not a fan of losing to Japan again for a medal and losing fairly significantly. Like, I think it was 6-1 was the final score in the gold medal game of the World Championships. Mm-hmm. So I ask you, if softball was being played right now in the Olympics, would Team USA win the gold, or would Japan win the third time? Yeah?
Japan would win a third time. Absolutely.
I agree.
Japan is better. Now, do I think that if Team USA didn't have 5 billion teams and they had one? I mean, this is for real.
No, you're right. It's very confusing to know who's on what team.
You don't know who's on what team. It's hard to track. It's hard to follow. But also, you look at a lot of travel organizations, and they have 20 teams across the board. They have 5 different national teams that are in 18U, and there's like A+, A++, gold, premium, platinum. You're like, all right, these are just accessories at this point. But if you, instead of having 5, you had one team, how good would that one team be, right? I think the same thing of USA. I think if they stop diluting, and I understand they want to get the younger girls more international experience. They went to Japan, got the international experience, but also you're prepping. Like, you want the best of the best every year. You want to build that every single year because you don't get to train year round. You only get summers. So you only have 4 summers, and that's not a long time. I think if they stop diluting their teams, they would have a better shot. It is very much the one that was in the team that was in Japan. That was a younger group. They were stated to say, we want them to get experience. The older group, they were at the World Cup. I think some girls are good enough to play now. It doesn't matter how young they are. I just think Japan's better. I do. And that's unfortunate, but I think they've put together a better team, and all the girls in the Japanese team, they play pro league year round, mm-hmm. and they're not all on the same team. So it's not, they've been together for so long. Like, they've gotten new players as well over on Japan. I just think they put together a better team. Plain simple. It's a different style of play. And that's the way it is. Like, softball across the world is not the same style as USA, as Japan, as Chinese Taipei, as Puerto Rico. Like, they're very, very different styles. So I don't think it's because they're outright. I just think or because of the style, they're better or not better. I just think they're outright a better team. Not saying talent, saying team. And I think there's a big difference there whenever you have a very talented team, but they just don't have the right components. They don't have the right synergy. They're missing pieces. I think Japan got it figured out this year.
I think that's fair analysis.
Yeah.
It does not.
And I'm going to turn off my analyst hat, take it off. There we go. We're back on the dirt.
No, I thought that was good. But I think the point stands, too. Like, outside of the World Games, which Kilbro and I called, the board is right over there, Japan's kind of owned Team USA in the important games.
Smacked him.
Yeah. So it's got to get, because the one thing that can't happen is Team USA not win gold in LA.
Yeah.
That is a must. Have to do it. All right. I mentioned all that because, Nicole, are you ready for my top 6 Olympic moments so far?
I'm so ready.
You can tell me what you've seen and what what your main takeaways were.
Okay.
I had 5, and then I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot that one. So it's now a top 6. Number 6, Olympic golf. Scotty Scheffler, number 1 in the world.
Scotty's so great. Oh, my gosh.
And it's not even him winning. It was the video of him crying on the podium as he got his gold medal and as the flag was raised during the national anthem. And you could see how much it meant to him. And I said, this man has won like $28 million this year. And he's never publicly reacted to a Masters, a Players, a signature event like he is for this event, where he's winning $38,000 only because he got a gold. But because of how much playing for Team USA meant to him, he's inconsolable. I thought it was very cool.
That moment is so cool. I didn't get a gold medal, much less a medal in the Olympics, but
close though.
The moment where they have your flag out and they play your national anthem and you're there and you're listening and you know that you're playing for something bigger than yourself. Like, that's why the Olympics is so freaking cool, because it's not about yourself. It's about something so much bigger. It's about representing something so much bigger. And you can't replicate that anywhere. It's just that feeling. You can never replicate it. And it's just something that you wish you can experience over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I would agree. That one is pretty cool.
Number 5, the Cole Hocker Shocker in the 1500 meters. Did you watch this race?
I saw videos of it on social media.
Okay.
I was asleep, I think. I was napping.
That's fine. So everybody's talking about the British guy Kerr and the Norwegian Ingebrigtsen. I think I've
crazy
got his name
beef, right?
Oh, they've been jawing on Twitter and on podcasts. They've been dirting about each other for like a year. And that's all. I mean, NBC's promo is like, now we will find out Kerr and Ingebrigtsen next in the 1500. Like, that's all the promo. And this guy, this little man bun for Team USA, Cole Hocker, just gets, just gets a little extra juice in the last, 150 meters, 20 meters, and blows past these two that are the best in the world. This guy who, if you were watching live, they edited it a little bit in prime time to make it seem like they talked about him more. Live, he got a brief mention before the race started, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then he won gold. I thought that was incredible, and I don't know how people run that distance at the speed.
He ran track for 1 year before he went pro, right?
Is that true? I haven't done any
I think he ran college track for 1 year, and then he went pro. I think I read that somewhere. Don't quote me on it. This is very unofficial. But I think I heard that, and I was like, man, that was so sick. Like, everyone kind of, like, yeah. And then he was just like, all right. Which, okay, total underdog there. But let's talk about Sydney and how there was like a betting spreadsheet that I saw, and only 42% people voted for her to win gold, which was crazy.
Wait, that's coming up. We'll get there. Spoiler.
Sorry.
Okay. I almost want to just say, you know what? Number 4, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Is it actually?
Sydney, well, it was number 3, but I'm bumping it down so we can talk about it now. Is this the most dominant athlete at these Olympics?
Yeah. Because she's
400-meter hurdles winner, by the way, for people who did not see the clip, and winner by like 20 meters.
She would have qualified for the final round of the 400-meter without hurdles.
Yeah.
By like she would have missed it by like 0.2 seconds or something.
They showed
actually with her final time she would have made it.
They showed her world record with hurdles would have come in 7th in the 400 final in Tokyo without hurdles.
Isn't that crazy? She's
stupid.
Just jogging. She's jogging out there. I'm like, dude, you are so dominant.
It's effortless.
And I wanted to make a comparison, but I won't because it might be on your list. So.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. It's not on my list.
Katie's not on your list?
It'll shock you that there's no swimming on my list.
Wow.
There was some great swimming moments, but nothing that I felt really
compelled.
Yeah.
Okay. What's 3?
Number 3, I'm going to go with the U.S. women's rugby team getting bronze.
Iconic.
Basically a 99-yard. Basically, they kick 6th New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like that's
Isn't
what
that
happened.
Crazy?
Or Australia, whoever it was, whichever of those oceanic countries.
I want to say it was Australia.
Might have been Australia. Either way, they basically returned a field goal 109 yards at the very. Like that's essentially what happened. Time was running out. This girl trucks somebody and then just sprints to the end. It was sick. First medal ever in rugby.
Yeah, that was sick.
Twitter was alive. That was a great day for Twitter.
Twitter has been thriving.
It's amazing some of the things.
X has been thriving during the Olympics.
I'm still pro Twitter. It's hard I'm not a big fan of change. It's hard for me to just be like, yeah, new name for this thing I've had since 2011.
Fun fact, I have called myself a millennial. I looked up this thing. Apparently I'm Gen Z.
Yeah, we're Gen Z.
I don't know if I identify with Gen Z, but now I'm like, I kind of have to like assimilate into my age group, I think. So I'm calling it X.
Wow. I'm going to continue to be the old man on the lawn, and I'm going to call it Twitter.
Okay, 2.
Number 2, my boy Mondo Duplantis, the pole vault. This was so cool. I'm sitting. So here's the layout of my home. I have 2 TVs. I have one in the living room, and I have one in my room. And I'm working on my laptop, and sometimes I'll, go lay on my bed and work. And I've had the Olympics on whenever I'm putting together sheets or emails or all that jazz. And when Mondo Duplantis was going for the world record, he'd already won gold like 45 minutes earlier. Now he's just trying to get the gold or the world record. I put my laptop down. I was sitting in bed. I was watching this guy pole vault 20 feet 6 inches. And I kid you not, to hear on the TV the arena erupt, I yelled from my bed. Like it was unreal. And they were saying on TV it's not very often that the field event people get the whole arena like that. Mm-hmm. But it was the final event of the night. It was the final competitor doing anything. And it was just absolutely electric. But he went to LSU, so he's an SEC guy. And I don't know. It just means more. But he's incredible. Have you seen that video?
Yeah. It was... It blows my mind that these athletes can just... Like... I don't even know the type of body strength it takes to propel yourself up that high. It's insane. It's so cool to watch. I don't know. Did
you see the other pole vault video that circulated? That was tough. That guy did not set a world record.
He did.
At least in pole vaulting.
He set a world record.
Well, he
not
trended.
The one he wanted, but
he trended on Twitter for all the wrong reasons or the right ones. Depends on who you ask.
Depends on who you ask.
Get out of my head.
Bluetooth connected.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
All right. Number 1. Steven Nederazic.
Yeah.
Superman. This man can't see worth a damn. And he has his glasses. He's sitting visualizing. Like, I love it. And then he takes the glasses off. And I just, we couldn't get enough. Like, we were watching this at the lake. We had a bunch of softball, like the softball staff came. It was like a little last hurrah before fall starts. We were wrapped by him doing like the
Smolder
eyeing it. It was awesome, and then he just nailed it. He got bronze for the team. He got bronze individually. Just a beast.
A beast.
What a guy! And he seems like such a jolly nerd.
I know.
But then he gets on that horse, and it's like, whoa!
It's a persona change.
Yes,
that's what it is. It's like a flip, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing.
I mean, I was obsessed with that story. He just what a genius.
Yeah.
What beast mode.
Beast
no
mode.
Other way to put it.
I remember seeing that all over my Twitter, all over my X, all over my Instagram. I think it even made it onto my TikTok, made it onto my Snapchat. It was everywhere. It was sick.
I will say, honorable mention, you brought her up. She wasn't on my list, but Katie Ledecky, just when you're the only person in the shot for a race.
Like, she's so good. She's so good, so dominant. Like, how far ahead of the game. You just have to appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
That's different. Yeah. That's a different level of greatness.
She's different. Really quick, I'm gonna give my few.
Okay.
The USA and Brazil volleyball game.
Yes.
So freaking good. Like back and forth. I was like, that one was so good.
Can I real quick shout out the broadcast crew for volleyball? Yes. Because one of like the biggest flaws I think in the Olympics is most of the broadcast teams have to be remote just because it would be astronomical to send everybody over there. I get why they can't send everyone to Paris or Tokyo, but it does not sound like they're remote. Like, this crew does an incredible job, and they're sitting in some office at NBC calling this match, and it sounds like they're there. And that's in my eyes, that's as big a compliment as I can pay to a broadcast crew. Where the biggest diss I can say is it sounds like they're remote when they're there. And I've said that about crews in my life. But Paul Sunderland and Salima Rockwell and the whole game, they're crushing it. So
they were, if
they hear this, shout out to them. It didn't sound like you were remote. It sounded like you were right there, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah, they were great. Just everything about that game, from the play to the broadcasting to the fans, like the energy in the stadium, like all of it. It was just, it held me in a freaking trance the entire time. It was good. And then badminton, I don't know what it is. I don't think I've ever watched it before this year. Have you watched badminton?
Badminton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The birdie.
It's just like, I'm like, oh, no way. That was such a great shot. And then they knock it over. And I'm like, whoa, how did you do that? It was incredible. It was incredible. I was literally like awestruck by that. And then it was, I don't remember her name, but I think it was 2 Russian gymnasts. They were biting their medal. And then there's a Chinese gymnast, and she like saw them. She goes, and just like gently like nibbles. And it is so cute. It's like such a sweet, pure moment. And then later on, I saw another video of the same gymnast. I'm obsessed with her. I just got to figure out her name. But she was sitting down with other gymnasts, and Simone Biles walks across, and she just goes, and she walked by, and she goes, oh my gosh, just like to herself. And I just thought that was like the coolest, like sweetest, like most pure thing. I don't know. I loved it. It was so cool. Because it just gives you a perspective of like how young she really is. I don't know. I loved it. And then I think I saw that there was a 50-something-year-old skateboarder. He was the oldest skateboarder to ever be in the Olympics. And he was just like, I'm just happy to be here. And I don't know how he did, but I just remember seeing that interview and I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I love the Olympics. I think it's awesome. I'm a fan. Yeah, I just think it's always so fun to see the best athletes from all over the world come in and get to compete and meet each other. TikTok has been so fun seeing like all the athletes in the village like make their own TikToks with like other athletes.
Have you seen?
Like,
I think he's
Man?
a swimmer. Yeah, the muffin guy.
I made a video.
Chocolate muffin guy.
There was a chocolate muffin in my hotel today, and I was like, I wonder.
The one where he's like tied up in the corner while the muffin was really funny. Shout out to Denmark, Norway, one of the two.
Shout out.
Somewhere in that general vicinity.
Yeah. Good times. Mailbag?
Mailbag.
All right.
Ashley, if you could go back in time to attend a sporting event you did not / could not attend, where are you going and why?
I would go to Michael Jordan's very first Olympics.
Ooh.
I think that would be fun. Just, he had so much hype around him globally. I just think that would be such a fun game to watch. Yeah. And then if it was softball related, I think I would want to go back to the first time Oklahoma won a national championship in 2000.
Yeah.
And I would just love to be a fly on that wall during that coaches meeting.
See how different it was?
Yeah.
I'll do a regular and a softball.
Okay.
My overall Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good one.
Yeah. I would love to do a pod about the movie Miracle at some point. I feel very confident in my love for that film and Kurt Russell's performance. Softball, it would be Dancing in the Rain. I mean, I wasn't there. Yeah. I was home. I was into Alabama softball. That was kind of the first night where I felt as emotionally invested.
You cried like Scotty did on the podium?
No, but I woke up the house. My parents were very upset. They were beefing. They were like, "No, why are you awake? Why are we awake?
Why are we up right now?" Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a good time. I was 15.
It's a great time. Great time. What a time to be alive. Okay.
All right, one more. Fang. Both of you broadcast softball games. It's true. What are your most memorable calls?
I have a call, and it's one of the most memorable games.
Oh, here we go.
It was whenever Washington was down and they were playing McNeese. It was the second regional I ever called.
You were on that?
I was on that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that was me.
Wow. Boy, were you just like, new pitcher, McNeese, bring in a new pitcher. Pull her.
What?
She's been warming up for 30 minutes. Bring in the new pitcher.
I was ready for her. I was so bummed.
Yeah.
But the call where they had the bases clearing double, I remember hearing my play-by-play talk about it afterwards, and I was just so excited, and I like said my bit, and then the play-by-play came in, and I just went and I just had that moment where after I said what I said and I said my piece, I got to like sit back for a second. I was like, did that really just happen? Did Washington just come back? Are you kidding me? Like, what? Because no way should they have won that game. I don't know. I thought it was so cool. It was incredible. So yeah, I think that was one of my most memorable calls and games.
All right. Well, if we're doing calls, I'm going to bring up 2019. I'm going to bring up walking off Oklahoma because this was the one that was quoted to me for like 3 years after. And still occasionally. Tom, Caroline Hardy hits it back up the middle. and Chloe Anderson is on second base. Tom is calling the play. He's play-by-play, and I'm the analyst. And for whatever reason, there's like a perfect break where Tom is describing what is happening. And in that moment, I look, and it is taking Chloe forever to get from third to home. And in that break, I just yell, "Go!" And you hear it on the air. The GoPro footage is hilarious. And so for multiple years, people will walk up to me and go, "Go!" And be like, sorry.
Oh. That's tough.
It was
I love
funny.
it though.
It was perfect. No, it actually added to it in a way that, like, that was just me reacting, but the timing of everything made it work. Because I say go, Tom finishes the play, I like fall because Alabama's won.
Do you ever stay on your feet whenever Alabama wins? Like, I swear you've fallen more times this year than I ever think a man ought to be fallen after Alabama softball wins. One of them was accidental, though. So I won't count that one.
You're talking about when I tripped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rolled your ankle. All 6'5" of you just kind of.
I love that I immediately send the clip of the mess up to the Softball America group chat.
I love it too. It's great.
Guys, I said something really stupid on the air. Here's 3 minutes of it.
Here's the before, during, and after. Check it out.
Here's the social media reaction. Here's people being mad at me. Here's people sticking up for me. Thanks, guys, for the support.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so funny. I'm just replaying that video in my mind over and over again.
Now, I will say, games, the Alabama-Virginia Tech game that went to extras this year that Town I did was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Good softball game. Alabama came back in the 7th. Virginia Tech exploded in the 8th like they did against everybody they played in extras this year. Weirdest stat ever that they outscored teams like 18-1 in the 8th inning or something. It was absurd. But that game would be up there. And then the World Games with Bro, when Team USA beat Japan, that would be probably up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Were you playing in that? You weren't playing in that.
What?
World Games.
When?
21 with Mexico. 22.
Yeah. Oh, 22?
In Birmingham.
No. I had retired from Mexico at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that would have been weird.
That was a year after me.
We would have been hanging
That would
out
have been awkward.
and not known each other.
Yeah.
I would have been like, look, there's
Who's this guy?
There's that fiend outfielder from Oklahoma.
There's that sicko.
All she did was catch everything.
Not everything. I did drop one ball.
That's okay. And that makes it more fun that you and Tao are friends now.
I think I'm more bitter about dropping that ball. Like, either way, we didn't do what we needed to win. But I think I'm more mad about dropping that ball, not because we lost, but because a photographer told me that he had a really sick shot, but it fell out of my glove. And I wanted that picture.
Did you and Tao ever talk about it when we were all together in Knoxville? No? No. And viewers and listeners, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up Game 1. Nicole, because then, like, the next play, Nicole makes an incredible catch.
I made the diving catch.
It's really, like, 5 minutes of Nicole just being all over the field.
Yeah, I got a lot of balls out there that
game.
I was like, ooh, I'm so nervous. Every single pitch, I was like, ooh, I don't know where this is going. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Fang. Anything else before we go to the stain?
Nope.
Then here we go. It's time for the stain.
The stain.
Nicole.
I feel like there should be a sound effect whenever we say it.
Let me see if we have anything in the hopper.
Oh dear God, I'm nervous.
Let's give something a shot. Do you want to try future pop? Epic?
No.
Cinematic?
Cinematic, maybe.
All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Are you ready, everyone? We're going to try a sound effect live on the show.
Disdain. It's time for the stain.
That wasn't bad.
I kind of like that.
I kind of fit. All right, Nicole, what's your
I feel
stand?
like I should have been like looking at the screen like I don't know, a serial killer or something. Okay, mine is, what sport do you think a softball player, if they were to transition over to another sport in the Olympics, which one do you think would set them up most for success, being a softball player to transition over for?
Ooh. Handball?
Handball. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is
a lot of communication, arm strength, versatility, movement. I think not every softball player could go there, but I think that would be most conducive of anything because it's probably the most translatable skill-wise, maybe.
Yeah, I like that one. Good answer. Good answer.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I don't.
What about you?
I don't know. I was pondering on this because I was like, I feel like somewhere inside every softball player, like we don't get physical, but I think we could. So I actually think just being like as thick-thighed as we are, just as strong as we are, really good hand-eye coordination, I would say maybe rugby.
Oh, interesting. I thought you were about to go field hockey.
No, I don't think for any second that I could ever remotely play field hockey and be
rugby
decently good at it. I would for sure you would have to work at it, but I just think the body structure and the strength portion of it would be a good transition.
I think that is a fair guess.
Because there's some big girls in softball. Some strong girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to truck somebody, get to the other end.
I accidentally once trucked somebody on accident. It was whenever OU played Oklahoma State.
Oh,
the World Series.
I'm sure that was an accident.
At third base.
Oklahoma State? Yeah, totally not on purpose.
It was. And I remember apologizing. And in the middle of apologizing, Coach Gasso goes, "Apologize from the base, step on it." And because I went to apologize before I even went back on the bag. I felt so bad, but a crazy rush. So that's why I said rugby. Anyways, what's your stain, Gray?
My stain, Nicole, is I'm going to ask you a question. Have you seen Twisters yet?
Yes, I have. Oh my God, it's so good.
My stain is Twisters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, let me find something that's a little up. Here we go. I'm going to play it right now, this music. Let it go. Come on. This is a spoiler alert for the movie Twisters. If you have not seen Twisters, stop listening and fast forward to the end. I loved it.
What would you rate it? 1 out of 10?
I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd.
I said 1 out of 10. You said I gave it a 4, and I was like,
no. So 8.
You did love it. Okay, so an 8. That's what I said.
I thought it did 2 really things.
2 really things.
2 things really smart. The first thing that it did, that I was sitting in this theater, and let me preface this. This is a big event. Big event in Tuscaloosa. We've been planning to go as a staff for a while. I think we had 8 strong, and we had a couple of people who couldn't make it because stuff came up that they didn't know would come up in April when we talked about this. But we were, Bama U was alive and well in the rows over at the theater. In the opening 5 minutes to kill off 3 characters, I thought it was genius because that was kind of one of the main issues that I had with the first Twister. Really, there's only one death, and it's Carrie Ellis.
You sicko.
No, but
there's only one person who died.
But it doesn't make it feel like there are urgent stakes. So when immediately in the movie you see characters that you think when they come on screen, oh, I know that actor, I know that actress, I immediately have to care about these people. When they're instantly taken away by the storm, that raises the stakes of the entire movie way, way more than you expected. And I'll mention 3 things, actually. 2, that opening scene and the scene at the rodeo, incredibly harrowing.
The rodeo scene was so good.
I mean, that was one of the best action movie scenes I've seen in a while. And number 3, my other big criticism from OG Twister, because they didn't really have the technology to do anything with it, all the tornadoes were just like there. It'd be like you'd be driving, it's like, oh, look, there's a tornado. You know when tornadoes are really scary? When they're rain wrapped, when you don't know where it is.
I hate those.
And that's what we get in Alabama. We don't see the tornado. It's just it's raining, and all of a sudden, guess what? Here it is. That to me made it so much more terrifying because it made it more real. And I actually there's Twisters is not a true story. There's a lot of suspension of disbelief in the film, but I thought a lot of the stuff that they did made it more accessible to the 21st century audience. And as you know, we've both been in tornadoes. We live in tornado areas.
Yeah.
Like there was some moments where I was like, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. What did you think?
I agree. And I loved how they filmed it in Oklahoma. Like I knew where they were. Like you could tell where they were. And that was really cool. Softball player here. I love that they used Game Time, the softball team, in that last scene. That's a real softball travel ball team. And I used to give lessons out of their facility. And I thought it was a really, like, if you're from Oklahoma, I thought that was a really special nod because back in 2013, or was it 2012, the big tornado, the Mailbag tornado that hit Moore and destroyed one of the girls that was in that elementary school that passed away. She was on the Game Time softball team. So I thought that was a really cool way to tie that back together and give it a nod to what happened and the deaths that happened because of that tornado. And I thought it was just very, very well done. And like you said, some of those scenes, they felt very realistic, where there's sometimes where there's tornadoes and like the sky looks really ugly and you're like, yeah, like something's coming. And then sometimes it's just like, it's just a storm. And then all of a sudden your phone goes off and it's like tornado warning here, here, here. And all of a sudden they start popping out and it's like storming. And you're like, I can't see anything. And then you see lightning and then you see like a silhouette and you're like, hoo, that's scary. Like that's happened to me multiple times. So I thought that was really cool how realistic it was. And then, okay, I'm basic. I'm shallow. Get a moment, not just for Glenn, for all the men in the movie. Like Glenn, obviously. And he grew. Like I looked over at my teammate because we watched it with some of my teammates from the Rise. I looked over. My teammate literally, there's this scene where he's in the white t-shirt. She literally goes,
and it's raining.
That was her mouth. Like she didn't even know I was looking at her. That was her genuine reaction. She goes, and I was like, me too. I saw it with Lamar, my boyfriend, right here. And I had to like look away because I was like, I can't, my face right now, I can't control it. I did go to Dakota's later and I FaceTimed him and I was like, hey, you want some cowboy boots? You want a belt buckle?
You should have said, have you ever been interested in a plain white tee and a cowboy hat and jeans?
Oh, okay. That's one thing. I need to take Lamar jean shopping. He still wears skinny jeans. And I'm like, that era is done. It's over. Like, I was like, we're going to take you Levi shopping. So next time he's in Texas, I'm taking him to Fort Worth and we're going to get him a good pair of jeans. Cause, city boy, he don't know. I took him to the rodeo in Houston and he asked if, like, you know, those men's boots Not like cowboy boots, but like dress boots that stop at the ankle.
Sure.
Like the Chelsea boots.
Yeah.
He wanted to wear that with tight jeans and then like a work white collared shirt. And I said, if you do that, I will pretend like I don't know you. But jail, immediate jail. Put your hands behind your back. I'm taking you in. Yeah, so I was like, just wear normal clothes. Like I can't do that to you. I did make him buy like a cheapy $40 cowboy hat, and it looked great on him. I was like, you should wear that more often. You should wear that more often. That's one thing. Going to school in Oklahoma, I do admire a fine cowboy. Woo-hoo. Yeehaw, buddy.
Well, shout out to Glenn Powell.
On that note, it
might be time to wrap up the dirt before Nicole ends up single. So,
yeah. Let's just. What would they do? The twister, round them up. Is that how they did it?
Sure. Let's get everybody together. Sit the old dusty trail. More mailbag coming up next time. Send us your questions, comments, DMs, etc. I know, Nicole, you've got a few that we're going to dive into next dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if there's any topic that you want us to cover, the Olympics will be ending by the time this is out. So we'll do it here. And I'm sure more softball will come out because it always does.
Classic.
Yeah. We good?
We good.
That's Nicole. I'm Gray. This has been The Dirt. We'll catch you next time.